I would like to welcome Dr. Frances Zedler. She's representing Energy Saxony. And I'm very happy that you present this association to our international guests. And Energy Saxony, if I was thinking about how I could explain it in one idea or in one sentence. And from my perspective and from my experience, it is a association that summarizes a number of powerful companies, technological approaches, and research aspects. And for all the details, I'm very glad to welcome Dr. Frances Zedler, and the stage is yours. Thank you very much that you are presenting your organization or your institution association, and to inform us about the state of the art of your organizational focus.
Yeah, thank you, Tobias Schlüter, for having me here today, and a warm welcome from my side. And I just want to share my screen. Yeah, I hope everyone sees my slides. Thank you all thank you very much for the organization of Green Energy Community and also for the kickoff event. And I can tell you the network is already quite busy. I got my first request, even though this is the kickoff. So I think this will be a very successful event and community. Yeah. As Tobias Schlüter introduced, I want to give a very short introduction on Energy Saxony and what we are doing, but then I want to give you some insights into our energy industry in Saxony to give you a better feeling with what you're dealing here in Saxony. So let's start with a short introduction of Energy Saxony. We are an energy technology network, a cluster with stakeholders from industry and science. And with this combination, we try to enforce the technology and innovation transfer in Saxony so that we go into the application of these technologies and therefore strengthen our economy. So when I say we have a broad network, we have around 100 members. The most of them are SMEs, but we also have large-scale enterprises, some research institutes, university and technology centers, but also economic political stakeholders. Here you see an overview of our members, and looking from another side, we have technology developers like these research institutes, but also SMEs or startups. And on the other side, we have those who need energy, who need innovation, and who need to apply new applications. So we are the connection between these two groups, and therefore enhance the transfer in Saxony. Yeah, but looking to our topic, energy and energy in Saxony. I already used this slide last year. I tried to get new data, but the data from 2022 are not available yet, unfortunately. And the data from 21 and 20 are under the influence of the corona pandemic and therefore not that representative. So I stuck to my 2019 data, but I think they are quite representative. Maybe there are some little actualizations, but it's not that much. But here you can see how we are divided. We have half of our energy volume is supplied in Saxony, but the other half we have to purchase from the outside. Is it from other states in Germany or from the whole Europe? And then we go into our primary energy demand. Here you see around 600 petajoule. In comparison, this is the energy demand of whole Germany. We have some small deliveries also And then we go into our end energy demand, which is a little bit over 50% of the primary energy demand. And this splits into mobility, household, industry, and business, trade, and services. And if we look into our supply, we are a typical coal mining and coal power plant state in Germany. This is why it was 2019 around 56% of our electricity supply. But as you maybe know, we want to end the coal power plants and go to more sustainable technologies. We have also some mineral oil and natural gas power plants, but also wind. But it's not that much. We are looking into the whole Germany. We are, I think, the last place in building wind power plants. So we have to do a lot more in Saxony. On the solar side, we have a lot of small solar power plants and one bigger one. That's why I have only this one dot here. We have, oh no, there's a second one, but we have a lot of small power plants looking into solar. So that's why I haven't put them all in here. We have some hydropower plants and also biomass. Yeah, then looking in our primary energy demand, as I said, a lot of coal. This is also for primary energy. The first one was the electricity supply, and this is also mobility and heat. Of course, here mineral oil is a little bit bigger because of mobility, and as well as natural gas because it's often used for heat. Then we have some electricity exchange, as I said in the first slide, that we have also deliveries outside of Saxony. We have a demand from renewable energy carriers and a little bit from others. And looking into the renewable energy carriers and the development of the electricity feed, we can see that we have an enhancement of wind power and also on solar power. Biomass, we have been the highest 2015 and hydropower is not that much, and it's also very continuous. So where goes our primary energy demand? We've seen it in the first slide. We have most part going in the end energy demand, but we also have conversion losses and non-energetic consumption. And then splitting our end energy demand into these energy carriers, we have coal, but it's not that much as we've seen. In the primary energy demand, we have a lot of mineral oil and natural gas and also the renewable energy carriers. And this we've seen also from the first slide. This is, mostly equally distributed in our sectors. We have business and trade, industry, mobility, and household, which is the biggest sector here. But we want to look at the energy industry and where does our industry need energy, how is it contributed, and which sectors we have, which industrial sectors. So our industrial energy demand uses a lot of fossil fuels like brown coal, but also a lot of mineral oil and natural gas due to the heating, for example. We have a little bit wind power, solar power, hydro, and biomass. And looking into the branches, the industrial branches, we have a very quite big automotive sector in Saxony, but it's not that energy intensive, like for example the metal production, for example steel production, which has a very high demand for energy, and also the chemical industry has a very high demand on energy. And here we have the very special situation in Saxony that we have 9 industrial companies with very high energy demand in one area. So we have, I will show you in the next slide, an area with very high energy demand. And we have some microelectronics like semiconductors. There we don't have this high demand, but we have very strict requirements on energy. We need a continuous energy supply because the processes are very sensitive. Yeah, then we have food sector or mechanical engineering and other sectors. For example, paper industry, which is also very high on demand. This is what I told you, the energy demands in our regions in Saxony, also divided by the energy carriers. And we see here, this is what I told you. This is a region where we have very highly intensive energy industries like metal industry, chemical industry. But as you see, we also have other regions which have a very high demand. And what can also be seen that the basis is mostly fossil fuel in our industrial branches. So there we need to switch, and most of them is based on the natural gas. So there we need very innovative solutions to switch. Yeah, so when I'm talking about innovative solutions, I want to get back to Energy Saxony and our supports and offerings. As I said, we are a network, so our first offering is the networking. We connect businesses and cooperations partners, but also the marketing. We support our members with the promotion of their products, services, and also events. We also support in increasing sales by informing about marketing trends, but also innovation and transfer of know-how and the initiation of projects. And another column is the lobbying. So we are starting the dialogue with policymakers and also support the acquisition of fundings. I want to have a short look on projects which have an influence on these topics. The first is the Innovation Cluster Wasserstoffland Sachsen, which we are performing together with H2. We will have a short presentation later from Frederik Wewitzer. And here the purpose is to establish an infrastructure for green hydrogen in Saxony and to develop components for fuel cell vehicles in cooperation with our partner. And the contents of this project you can see here. As I said, we have a lot of natural gas. Hydrogen could fill a part of these demands, but not everything. But that's why we are here engaged in this project to support the infrastructure and technology development. Another project is looking to battery technologies, but it's not on the technological part, it's an education network. In this project, we want to develop a systematic, demand-oriented and sustainable qualification concept along the whole value chain of battery cell production. We have a lot of partners in this project. We are coordinating this network, and yeah, contents are to identify current and future qualification needs, compare competence and qualification needs with existing profiles, and then develop strategies to sustainably secure skilled workforce in the region, and also to develop tailored qualification concepts. At the end, these concepts are tested and implemented. And another one is our service think tank. It is with our Energy Saxony members, but also our working groups and other cooperation partners. We support our think tank clients, which can come from industry but also building sector. This can be energy suppliers or agriculture, and they come to us with a specific task and scope, and we prepare the topic and organize some meetings to get these tasks and scopes into our network. The network, as you can see here, our members are consulted and bring in their experts from science and industry and present specific approaches so that we can get specific projects for the think tank clients, which will coordinated by us and associated with some PR work. Yeah, this was the last of our services. So here is my contact data, and we have last 2 slides I want to show you, because we got another small project from our Free State of Saxony, because we are the official Saxon Hydrogen Competence Center of the Free State. And I want to present you shortly with the task. We are the central contact point for hydrogen issues. We also want to create awareness and acceptance for hydrogen. And last but not least, we inform and advise our industry, science and research on all hydrogen specific issues and also on funding opportunities. And here are also the contact data for the Competence Center on Hydrogen. So thank you very much again for having me here, and I will give the stage back to Tobias Schlüter.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Zedler. This was a very interesting and broad perspective on cooperation and collaboration, as I mentioned in the beginning. And it is for sure, and I hope and I think that the other participants of this event also have now a better impression and an idea how we collect issues here in Saxony, how we combine the interfaces, and how we work on cooperation between different sectors. And when may I ask a question that came up into my mind? You mentioned the Battery MD project. And is there also, well, you mentioned that it is an education focus in this project. Is there also a bridge to international cooperation already, or is that for the first stage of the project design not the main focus?
Yeah, we started in April this year, so this is just the beginning, because it's a 5-year project. We have a lot of time in comparison to 3-year projects. So this is not the focus yet, but it will be, because we can't do this all on our own in Saxony or in Germany. So we need the international cooperation. And so this will be a focus later on.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. For the moment, I thank you very much, Dr. Zedler, for your presentation.
Thanks again.
And now I would like to mention another aspect, because it was asked if the presentation of Dr. Zedler will be available. And I just want to mention that all the presentations are recorded. And these recordings will be on the GreenEnergy community available. There you have, of course, the contacts, so you can contact directly Mrs. Zedler. You also have the contacts on the website. So if you are only focusing on the PDF, you are able to organize it yourself. But with the ideas of the recording of the videos, we want to welcome you to work with this community. And also, and this is a very important issue to mention, and you will see also another format of presenting, it will be an interview later, the idea that you present your solutions, that you present your visions, your approaches, and to make it visible. And let me just finish this, my comment on Energy Saxony, on the presentation of Dr. Zedler. We mean it honestly if we talk about green energy community, because today we presented you the market situation here in Saxony. And so this is also an invitation for the companies abroad that if you have solutions here for our market issues, then you are able and welcome to work with us. And this is the idea of this event. And so it is a really great pleasure for me to guide you or to lead you through this online event, to this kick-off event, because I think this is another level on international cooperation on green energy. It is not only cooperation, but it is a broader perspective on it is another quality from my point of view and as far as I understood the invitation and the approach. So